All right, well, there's not a lot going on with this deck, so I'm just gonna read off the script that I print off for every single video, and then we're gonna go from there. So the deck we are playing today is called Mill Rogues. It's just a basic creature strategy. We got a bunch of rogues with low CMC costs. We're gonna roll over our opponents while also controlling the board with some counter spells, and then just drawing some cards. At least that's what Wizards of the Coast wants me to tell you. Basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to play the Thieves Guild Enforcer, or we're going to play Merfolk Windrobber, and we're going to just start with those. Then we're going to control the board with Drowned Loch. We'll go for the throat, or we'll play a Spell Pierce to counter those early game spells. Everything in this deck is at flash speed, at instant speed, except for the Windrobber. He's the only one that we actually have to play on our turn. But essentially, yeah, we'll use these early game creatures here to take over the board, punch our opponent in the face, and then we'll use Opt along with Cling to Dust to draw additional cards, pumping up that Faerie Vandal. We also got some more interaction with Brazen Borrower. If we play the adventure side, we're going to bounce an opponent's permanent, not our own permanents. Unfortunately, we can't dodge removal spells with this card. And then we can play it at flash speed for the creature side of things from the adventure zone, or from our hand if we decide to do that. And then, yeah, we'll just roll over them. We got Soaring Thought-Thief to buff up our creatures, and then also when we attack with a bunch of dudes, we are going to mill them a bunch of cards. Thus, Mill Rogues. And as you can see here, I have the option to apply styles. This is broken currently, and I'm going to complain about it in one of my games, so stay tuned. Let's get into the first game, though. All right. Just like every first game of the day, we are going to guess based off their avatar what kind of deck they're playing. It's Shield Druid the Apocalypse. Whew. That was quite the sneeze. I apologize. But they're probably playing mono black. Yeah, that's the thought. I almost sneezed it all the way out of my brain. That would have been quite the travesty if I lost my brain. But I've lost my brain a long time ago with playing Magic so often. All right. Are we playing some mono white deck here? Mono white, anyone? We'll hold on to these Cling to Dust because they're going to be very helpful. It's a special tool we're saving for later. They're probably on Jeskai control here. If I had to hearken a guess. Keep milling some cards into your library, or into your graveyard. You'll really enjoy that. We will hold this blocker back because we played the wrong land. Oh, I am significantly fatigued, my dudes. I don't know what's going on with my brain right now. I'm just absolutely exhausted. It's probably from all of this nasty shenanigans that our opponents keep trying to do to us. I think we will exile this land from the graveyard. We are signaling to them that we have Cling to Dusks in our deck, but that's fine when we get some advantage, some card advantage here. Probably gonna swang in with a 2/2. Go ahead, take a swing. Oh my gosh, dude, that's some sick artwork. We're just playing cats, dudes. Just playing some cats. I am going to hold up all the interaction because our whole hand is at flash speed. Unfortunately, we don't have a counterspell here, so if they just play one of the Raptor dudes, we are kind of screwed. I suppose he can play like a Galvanic Discharge on his 2/1. We are just waiting to cast like a... Okay. So now he's going to sacrifice the cat, throw it at my face. But before he does that, he's going to send everybody in. Go chink chink chunk. Looking for something to do. We're going to go ahead and do this. Basically, we want to hold up mana as long as possible with the Goblin Bombardment now on the field. He's probably going to want to sacrifice something to it just to like blow up my like Thieves Guild Enforcer or something like that. All right, what do we want to do here? I can swing in with the Thieves Guild Enforcer. However, I think I want to keep it back. They're at 5. I'm going to mill 2 at least. And then we can put 1 into the graveyard. Yeah. Basically what I'm doing right now is I'm just doing the math real quick. Like, if I can play one of my rogues out and blow up one of their dudes, I can make some good blocks. Claim the Firstborn is not ideal here. Because they're going to just sacrifice it to Goblin Bombardment after attacking into me. I think we'll let it happen, though, right? Sure. We'll go ahead and let it happen at the moment. Gonna go to attacks. I think, let's see, they're at 6 right now. I want to do this right. Let's see. They block, then they shoot the fairy for 1. I think I need to play out like a... Play out this dude. We are gonna take damage here, I think. Let's see. No, I think we need to get more tricksy with it. So right here. We'll block. Now, this is the difficult part. We just need to allow this to happen. A Johnny's gonna trigger. Before they can do anything, we will sacrifice a Johnny. Or we'll make them sacrifice it to Goblin Bombardment because it's 0 value. They're gonna throw my dude at my head as well. Johnny doesn't trigger. Do you have a second one? No, they have a cat. They didn't gain any life this turn. Thank goodness. Drown in the Loch. Okay, this is really good. I think we just keep all of it up again. We don't want them to gain any life here. Make them mill some cards. Thieves Guild Enforcer coming back is superb. Never mind, it's gone. It is gonzos. Donaruni. Gone away with the wind. We'll flash this out. We really can't take any damage here. No damage whatsoever. So we will go ahead and I think we want to block here, yeah? No, we want to block as much damage as possible. So we'll block here. We're going to go to first strike damage. We will destroy target creature. They're probably going to want to point it here. They point it, yep, go ahead, keep pointing it at my soaring. No, he doesn't. That's nuts, dude. No way. What do you have? Just gonna hold on to all my creatures. Man, he's gonna look foolish when I exile them or do something crazy. I've got all the answers, bucko. What are you gonna do? Gotta pay to keep those around. Okay, so that gains him life. We don't really want that. He doesn't have a Laris, thank goodness. That would be annoying for sure. Let's get rid of this Ajani. And then, let's see, what else can we do here to annoy the crap out of our opponent? I think if we send one of these back to hand, right? He has to replay it. Now, we'll just let this hit the field for now. They're going to gain some life, but I kind of want to do it in the end step. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. If we do it in the end step, they can't replay it. Whatever this card is, it just can't be too important. Let's go ahead and we'll get the... Probably get the static... this static prison off. Get that enters the battlefield trigger. Put some more in the bin. We're putting a Johnny in the bin. Let's go. That's really good for us. We'll put this into the graveyard. We don't really need any more lands at this point. We're just looking to draw cards. Let's go ahead and do this. We have many options here in terms of plays. We're gonna swang in. Go for a swang. Yep, go ahead and keep it around. I mean, they probably still have options, right? Let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead and play this. Yeah, sure, it's more triggers for his life gain, but I was really trying to thin his deck so much that he can't actually go search for a land. I suppose I could have done this as well, but we just continuously mill cards into his graveyard. Yeah, he probably was just like, well, you've milled most of my my win conditions. I guess I can't look at their graveyard. I can't look at my graveyard either. UI's broken right now, so I can't really explain my thought process. We're gonna go on to the next game here. Sorry about that last game, guys. My voice got like a little raspy, and I was starting to sound like saffron olive, whatever. That's why we have water next to our desks here, because that is our lifeline when our throat's getting a little raspy. I think I'm gonna have to take another swig of that soon here. We do have the opt with the two Faerie Vandals. This is a slower hand, but we do have ways to buffer. Dude, our opponent is going first. That is something to consider, but I think I'm gonna keep this hand, and we'll do Faerie Vandal on turn 2. Whether that's a good idea or not, we are yet to discover. Have yet to discover. Is this invisible? No, it's not invisible. All right, he's on that Eldrazi grind. That Eldrazi grind set. Go ahead and do this. We have plenty of options. We're probably gonna do the Faerie Vandal. But like I was saying with the UI at the beginning, like during these, wait, what? He's not casting this for 6 mana now, is he? No, he isn't. Discard a card. Conjure. Okay. Gosh, dude, all these alchemy cards, like, just breaking my brain box here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and play the Faerie Vandal out here. Hopefully I'll have a moment here to talk about my qualms with Wizards of the Coast. I think we will just play this out and then opt here, just to show that we are gonna threaten some lethal action here. Yeah, we do want to have some sort of removal interaction here, although it's probably not going to matter too much. But they could just turbo out, like, you know, an Evercruel here soon. But what I was saying with, like, Wizards of the Coast making the sets, and also, what am I trying to say here? Let me cast these cards. It's so hard to do, like, commentary on top of this. All right, we don't need another land. Get that out of here. We're gonna get a land anyway. Yeah. Classic. Okay, they're close to death here. But to actually finish my thought, when Wizards of the Coast comes out with a new set, there's always like some UI glitch with it. Like, for instance, if I like target, now it's working, like targeting my opponent's like library, like graveyard, it's kind of like even right clicking on this, like usually brings it up on like the side panel, but it's not working correctly like in this instant. And that's something that's frustrating to me as a consumer of like the product, is I would just like you to create something that's consistently good, right? Like, when a new set comes out, with Hearthstone, the UI doesn't break for them. It's not like they like add a bunch of cards and then like for some reason the code like breaks. It's always very polished, and I feel like Magic Arena could be a polished product, and it's been out for several years now. At this point, I think it's been at least 4 years. You would think by this point that we would get a more polished product than we started with. And in some regards, I'm sure that it is a more polished product. I can't name any of them, but I'm sure that there is more polished than when it started. And also there is like constraints on development. I realize that the people who are coding it aren't the ones that are the like leads of the project for Magic Arena, and they are beholden to those people and also to shareholders who are looking for the most amount of money. And that's the frustration really, is like, even though you're looking to build a product that is cheap but also gives back to the investors, that doesn't discount the person who's investing their time and money into the product, like directly into the product. So when you're more interested in pushing the cash shop, pushing like pieces of the cash shop out over the quality of the quality of the game itself, that is something that is frustrating to me. All right, we got a Narcomoeba here, but that's not to say that I'm not having fun. I am having fun playing Magic Arena. Let's see if they block here. It is possible that they block. We got Drowned in the Loch. I should have known that this was going on. Let's see. If I blow it up, what is the harm? I don't think there's any harm. Oh no. Oh no, their creatures have flying. Their flying creature has flying, guys. But yeah, like with Wizards of the Coast, I am just patient enough to be like, yes, I will wait for a better product. I probably won't spend as much money as I would if I could, you know, like consistently click on their library, consistently click on their graveyard. Like I clicked on their library and it showed the back of the card, but now I'm trying to click on their graveyard to like pull up a card on the side screen, and it's not like consistent. I would imagine by now that they would have a development process that would make that consistent. Okay. I think they're just gonna mill themselves a ton, right? Yeah. But I'm also trying to mill them. You're gonna do 3 damage to my Thief Guild Enforcer? That would make the most sense here. Are they gonna be able to outrun me? Possibly. Most likely. Okay, it just does 3 damage to the opponent, right? Yeah, see, now I can click on the exile zone and see what card we're talking about, which it is important for the game to be functional, for these like UI pieces to be consistent. Like I can see exile, but I can't see graveyard right now. I can't even see like what's going on with the deck. Yeah, there it goes. It's just like delayed for some reason. Wizards, please fix Withers. Wizards of the Coast, please fix. They're at 22 life. I'm probably not going to win out of like damage or anything like that. Let's see, we'll block the 1/1 Narcomoeba. I would like to block this 3/1, but I just know he's gonna well, he might just draw a card actually. If I block here, like he might just draw a card. No, but I kind of want to keep this 2/1 around. The game's pretty close to being over already, but we do have damage available. We want to kill this Bloodghast. I can't see what's in the graveyard, so maybe there is a Bloodghast there. Prized Amalgam. We're just gonna make a bunch of dudes. Yep, thanks for showing me what's in the graveyard. I already know I'm kind of screwed here. All right, that's definitely more than enough. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, take me out. Ave Maria plays in the background, but it's the DMCA free version. All right, this guy's taking forever. We're getting out of here. We're going on to the next game. That's a sweet deck, though. I do want to play that deck at some point here in the near future. And if you also want me to play that deck in the near future, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Every subscriber brings me closer to being able to monetize this channel. We're gonna keep this hand. It's pretty low to the ground. But every subscriber does get me closer and closer to being able to monetize this channel. And I don't typically shill it out, but in this case, I will tell you what's what. I do like the new Bloom Burrow like art that's around. Go ahead and swang. Swang for 1 damage. Oh gosh, are we playing against combo? Let's see. This sends it back to their hand, but we already got one. Let's send this away. We're looking for a counter spell. Counter spell or something. This is, yeah, this is definitely gonna be that BS. Just, I'm gonna hit you with my artifact. Is it? Okay, we got the counter spell at least. We just need to get more cards into their graveyard. We've got all of the interaction here. This is it. This is a really intense matchup. It's like you're just trying to cheese a win. I know it. You know it. We all know it. Faerie Vandal. Will you let it hit the field? You will. Okay, we're getting closer to enough cards to counter his spell. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. That's another drop in the bucket. I think it's a 4 CMC artifact, so we can counter spell it. And then we also got the Spell Pierce backup. So we just swing in for the next 12 turns. This is really good for us. This is really good. And he has to play it on his turn. Like all of the counter spell nonsense and interaction is just all faux show. We still got the Spell Pierce backup here. If he tries to like Galvanic Discharge or anything like that. This might not be the deck that I'm thinking of. We are gonna counterspell this. Do you have a Spell Pierce? Okay, well at least we're getting rid of the interaction in his hand. This is fine. We'll just keep swinging in. Just keep on swinging. As long as he doesn't play a non-counterable spell here, should be fine. Zoop. Okay. Just gonna keep on doing that. And now he's got a serious clock on his head. We've got a lot of different options. We got the Cling to Dust. We got the Drown in the Loch. He is looking like he's in dire straits here. If he tries to animate something from the graveyard for some reason, we've got that. Well, it would be nice if the UI actually worked. This is actually a situation where it's a little frustrating because I need to be able to see the graveyard in order to like cast this Cling to Dust properly. But I suppose we will just wait for him to try and do something. We are gonna have to, if he tries to, he's returning it to our hand. That's actually fine. That's fine. Because we got 2 pieces of interaction here. Yep, he's gonna play the Goblin, Gobbo. And we can counterspell it because he used up all of his counter spells already. This is good for us. If he has the backup though, we do want to cast a Cling to Dust to counter it. We'll do it on his turn. Oh, we got double Cling to Dust. Good. Good. We have plenty of ways to stop him here. He just tries to send Thieves Guild Enforcer back to our hand. This is fine. This is just him trying to dodge it for one more turn. Go to the end step. Play a Brazen Borrower. Can't get away from this, bucko. Ooh, wait. Is this lethal? Did I just find lethal here? I did. Go to damage. Take that, you stupid combo deck. Woohoo! Day one of the season, I'm gonna bring out goblins. It's really easy to grind wins. Boom! Rogues takes him out. I love it. All right, this looks like a keepable hand. Our opponent is going first, but we've got a pretty aggressive rogue start up here. That is all at flash speed. Our opponent is playing elves. This looks to be a terrible matchup for us, but we will see what happens. And you guys might be noticing I'm really smiling right now. It's because my friend just sent me this image of bagel soup. It's kind of an inside joke. So I don't know how else to... Bagel soup. It's bagel soup, man. But our opponent playing blue-green elves for some reason. We're just gonna swing in here. Take a single swing. We'll see what they play here. We're gonna throw them all off kilter with this go for the throat, hopefully. What? Okay. Yeah, we'll let it happen. It's got reach, so I think that is reason enough to try and blow it up. However, we're going to play the Faerie Vandal out, and then on their turn, we'll do something about it. Nah, I think we will just blow it up right now. Well, they can play a huge Eldrazi. That's no good for us. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not great for us. I think we'll actually just hold back. This is a very precarious situation for us. They could play up to a 7 CMC Eldrazi here. And I want to keep this Goth for the Throat up. Yes. Yeah. Looks like it's the correct option here. Go ahead. We're going to have a big boy for sure. Let's see. This has Annihilator, and that's really annoying to me. Let's see. Go ahead and opt. It's a land. I think we actually do take the land, just because then we can do a couple of different options here. Wait, do they have... No, they do not have 8 in their graveyard. That is a big boy chonking into us. Got a lot of different options again, so we were just going to swing in here. Make a mill card. And then the Thieves Guild Enforcer will be getting close here to... Oh, okay, he's just playing it to draw the 2 cards, I see. Let's see, whenever you sacrifice an Eldrazi... Let's see... Yes, sir, we're gonna have to slow them down here. That is getting very big, very fast. I can see why this is a very popular card. That's being played in a lot of lists currently. Okay. We'll let that happen. We choose green. Green for elves. Just gonna get through all these steps as quickly as we can. I think we just have to go for it. Just gonna mill these cards. Okay, of course you have the One Ring. You gross little bucko. Cavern of Souls. I think we draw a card here. See if we can get some interaction up. Nope. We get a land drop instead. They're still at half their library. These guys are pretty resilient. I mean, most Eldrazi decks are pretty resilient. All right. And they just concede the game. They don't have the resilience to stop our flying rogues. Fly through the air, kicking them in the forehead. All right, let's go on to the last game here. Princess Choo Choo. All right. Welcome to the game. Let's see. So this isn't the greatest hand. We do have a Castle Locthwain in here, but it's going to enter tapped because we do not control any swamps. This is also going to enter tapped, so I think I'm going to mulligan this for a better hand. I like this hand way more. We're going to toss that back. And then we'll play a Watery Grave tapped. That way we have Counterspell up, and we also have Thieves Guild Enforcer up as well. Just get that mill train started. Looks like they're on mono white here from the looks of things. Double blue is what we are going to need here. We'll go ahead and throw the Thieves Guild Enforcer forward. Now, if they don't play anything too invasive here, we will just play the Soaring Thought-Thief. You know what? We will take this off the board here. I know how annoying life gain decks can be. And what are they gonna do? Yeah, just play it. Okay, so we have multiple ways to like mess them up here. We're gonna go ahead and toss these in. If they try to block, then we'll just blow it up. They really should be trying to force our hand here with some sort of interaction. This is a combo piece, and it can go right to the graveyard. Yep, so basically what they want to do with this, they want to put this on a land, and that land will basically become their win condition, and we have no way of interacting with lands at this current time. We just want to punch face as often as possible. We're gonna just counterspell anything that is an annoyance. It's perturbing when it's enters the battlefield, gain 2 life. I think what we'll do is we'll get rid of a flying blocker here. They only have 1 mana available to them. So they're just gonna gain a little bit of life, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal because they can't block anything. We are milling them a ton. We have the interaction for their graveyard, thanks to the UI for showing us. Oh, that is on the ground. Okay. That is something I forgot about. The Thieves Guild Enforcer is on the ground. Even more of a reason to just remove creatures as soon as they come into play. Or counterspell anything that could be problematic here. Let's see. Battlefields. So they're just going to gain 2 life off this. I'm fine with this. I just don't want them to have anything else that could be dangerous. Wait. These... with power 3 or greater. Okay. We will let the damage come through. Our life total is a resource after all. Schwong. No more life gain for you, sir. They probably will block here, but again, we're gonna force them to have the action available. They just let it happen, dudes. It's great. It's free real estate. 2 cards in hand. 2 cards in hand. They will be at 6 life here soon. What? Let's see. So they're just gonna look. We're just gonna counter this spell. Hopefully we get some other interaction here off the top. Because they could, this last card could be another copy. I can't look at the graveyard. It's not another copy of that Artifact Angel. Just, we're gonna just shut off your ability to win the game. Cool. Let's go on to what I would do differently. All right, so I don't often play rogues. I often don't play any sort of like aggressive strategy, but I do understand control because control is one of my favorite archetypes to play in Magic and just in any card game in general. I love to be the one who's in charge. The one thing that I notice is like go for the throat is great, but we could have some wider options available to us in the future. We could have like a destroy target not artifact, but don't destroy target creature or planeswalker. I know that there are some like creature planeswalker removal cards. Not only is like one side an adventure that blows it up, but the other side's a creature that like gains you life as well. I'll put the card up on the screen here. So that is an option right now in Magic, but as like we progress forward in Magic, power creep happens. This 2 C slot is going to become more powerful. Like there's going to be more text added onto the card, and in black, you're probably just going to be paying life anyways. And your life total is a resource that you can utilize. This deck can get pretty low, and then just run over your opponent, sort of like a Grixis Death Shadow shell, but with rogues. We also do want to keep this like cling to dust because we want to be able to interact with the opponent's graveyard. As Magic gets more and more power creep, we're going to see a lot more like escape cards. We're going to see a lot more reanimation from the graveyard. That already exists right now in the metagame. So that's just going to become more and more important. So I probably wouldn't remove the cling to dusts. As far as Spell Pierce goes, you'll probably interact with some other types of decks out there, especially creature-based decks in the 1v1 format are more potent. So if the 1 CMC slot ever gets an option for counter target creature spell in the future, I would swap that out. And also just adding more card draw to this deck isn't a bad thing either. So if you have access to lands that draw you cards, I would replace the Clearwater Pathways with those cards, or even the Drowned Catacombs with those cards. These are optional lands, but they do mill your opponent faster. So if they're on that like mill strategy themselves, like self-mill strategies, you can sneak in like a little bit of like, well, I'm gonna mill you almost till you're dead, and then hit them with this thing, and then on their upkeep they lose the game. So you can sneak in wins like that as well. But most of the time, yeah, you can just utilize this card that's up there, and then there's also this counter spell. Archmage's Charm is the name of it. You can utilize that in this deck as well, but you do need to up the blue sources in your deck just slightly, and then that cuts away from like your black mana sources. You might even need to cut the Castle Locthwain, but if you think that that's necessary, I would probably go with your best gut instinct and just try it out, because Magic is fun, and you should just be playing to have fun with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be competitive. As long as you're having fun and you're winning, you know, you're gonna have a good time playing Magic. So hopefully this deck was interesting for you, and yeah, we'll have more decks coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.